Christian artist, inspirational keynote speaker, and suicide prevention awareness activist Brianna Dominica is here today to talk about the Warrior in Me suicide prevention program. Now, the Warrior in Me video series shares the same title as her 10-song LP and single released on World Suicide Prevention Day in 2020, which was co-written by industry veteran Keith Ridenour and produced by Grammy award-winning musician Nate Cornell for King and Country. Now, the Warrior in Me suicide prevention program comes at an extremely critical time with suicide numbers on the rise. Suicide and mental illness do not discriminate, and there are no guidelines or rules, as it impacts people of all demographics and classes. Now, according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, suicide is the 12th leading cause of death in the U.S., and in 2020 alone, 46,000 Americans died by suicide, and there were an estimated 1.2 million suicide attempts per year. Now, as music is one of Brianna Dominica's greatest passions, but she is equally passionate about suicide prevention and awareness after losing several loved ones to suicide, including her oldest brother. She has also personally struggled with suicidal thoughts, and in an attempt to turn family heartache and tragedy into something good, she started a 501c3 nonprofit, Angel in the Sky. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back one of Christian music's most popular artists, Brianna Dominica. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on, Dr. Bond, again. It's always so fun to be on the show, so thank you.
Well, it's always an honor and a pleasure to have you, and I want to talk about this incredible video series that you have created. So how did the Warrior in Me video series come about?
Well, I created a live program back in 2019 that combined music and also educated people on warning signs, coping mechanisms, resources, things of that nature. And then COVID happened and I couldn't tour. But I felt like people needed the message more so than ever. So I got with my team and we were like, why don't we do a video series? And that is what we did. It's a 10-part series that is available on my YouTube channel, Brianna Dominica, and it touches on my story, coping mechanisms, tips and tools, facts and fiction, things, all of that stuff, resources. And the videos, I think the longest video is about 5 minutes. So they're very short little videos because I wanted to keep them engaging and short because they were geared towards, middle and high schoolers. And but altogether, it would kind of equate to what my 30-minute live program would be like.
Well, what are some of the topics that you have covered in the Warrior in Me suicide prevention video series?
Warning signs, tips and tools, fact and fiction, which that video was fun. That's a little, kind of like game that I play where I bust some of the myths, because there's a lot of myths to suicide and misconceptions. So I kind of wanted to just bust those. We have my story, different resources in the There's Help segment. And of course, There's Hope, which is our final video in the series. So.
Yeah, I have watched a couple of those videos, especially I think I watched Spot the Signs.
Yes.
And I believe that I've seen, I think I saw the one that There Is Hope. And ladies and gentlemen, this video series is fantastic. Brianna, I actually learned some things from those videos, things that I did not know. And, and it's, I don't think there's any coincidence. I think the Lord had this plan for you because, with the pandemic lasting almost 2 years and knowing that in 2020, almost 50,000 people took their own life and probably the same amount of number in 2021, this is extremely important right now. And we're hearing more cases of suicide each and every day. And what kind of people did you get a lot of feedback, or what kind of feedback have you received from this series?
The feedback has been great. People have found it very encouraging, empowering, educational. I'm hearing a lot of people say, "Oh, wow, I didn't know that," or "I didn't know those resources were available." Because it is not talked about very often. I do have to say the one thing about the pandemic is it has kind of brought mental health and mental illness kind of, people are talking about it more, as well as suicide prevention and stuff. So if you can say there was a blessing in the pandemic, I would say that would be it, is that now this conversation is happening. And, we won't see a change unless we start a dialogue and start talking about it. And, often I hear, well, if you talk about suicide, you're going to plant the seed. And more often than not, the seed's already there. If someone's thinking about it, it's probably already there. And you talking about it might actually make them feel like, oh, I'm not alone in feeling this way. Oh, okay, well, if she overcame, maybe I can overcome too. And I know the first time I was on the show, we briefly talked about my story and having lost my brother to suicide and having struggled with those thoughts myself. I just really didn't want other people to have to struggle with that. Like, to know it's okay to not be okay, and that there is help and hope available.
Okay, so you've had what, 3 family members that chose suicide,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the biggest things that I hear from a lot of people is I didn't see the signs, and they actually didn't know what to look for. Was that the same case with you and your family?
For sure. Like, I was, when we lost my brother, I was 16, and I didn't know any of the signs. But after we lost him, I'm kind of I need answers. And I was like, this doesn't equate. My brother was, like, in my mind, the happiest person. Like, he was always the life of the party. Like, 2 and 2 did not equal 4. Like, I was like, where's the disconnect here? So I started researching suicide and warning signs and all of this. And I was like, I'm looking and I'm reading these warning signs, and I'm like, he was a textbook case. And now, like, had I known those signs back then, I would have been like, David, we need to get you help, because I know the signs now. And being in the unique position of having lost people to suicide and also struggled with those thoughts, I'm on the side where I also knew how to hide those signs.
See, that's what my next question was, because a lot of people don't understand, or they haven't heard the term masking, where people can go out in the public, make everything look okay, make everybody around them think everything's fine, but in private, there's turmoil. And with the pandemic, I think that actually created the problem, or made the problem even worse, because a lot of people spent time by themselves. So the only thing they had was their own thoughts. And for many people, that's dangerous.
Oh, for sure. For sure. When the mind is a dangerous place, when we're left to our own devices. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And
now, ladies and gentlemen, the Warrior in Me Suicide Prevention Program video series is very powerful. And I've had the opportunity to watch many of these videos. And some of the things, some of the topics that you're going to see in this series that I want you to watch is called There's a Story of Loss. There is silent suffering. And ladies and gentlemen, millions of people literally suffer in silence. So we need to look for those signs. Also, Brianna covers fact and fiction. And then again, one of my favorite episodes is Spot the Signs, something that we all not only need to watch, we need to memorize so we can spot those signs in case somebody is having that problem. Now, Brianna, what is this one episode called Act or Shine?
So the Act or Shine episode is kind of a way that we can help, because I got a lot of questions I get asked are, well, I've seen these people, they're exhibiting the signs, but I'm not a counselor, I'm not a doctor. How can I help? And this is when I tell them to act or shine. If they spot the signs in someone else, a loved one or family member or something of that nature, they act, ask, care, and tell. And if they spot the signs within themselves, then I tell them to shine, say, help, I need encouragement.
Wow, I love that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, you need to grasp this. You know, you may have never known anybody that took their own life, but you need to realize there's a lot of hurting people out there. And for all of us like Brianna and myself, where we work to let Jesus shine in us and through us, allow the Holy Spirit to guide you when you may have a family member, a relative, even a friend that could be going through something. So remember, learn to spot the signs and then understand about act or shine. And also there's other episodes called There Is Help, tips and tools. Feelings aren't facts. Now, what does that mean, Brianna?
That one I struggle with myself. Being an artist, I feel everything very deeply. And I have to be reminded that although I'm entitled to my feelings, and we all are entitled to our feelings, don't get me wrong, they aren't always fact. Because, as you mentioned, we know there is an enemy, and he likes to use our thoughts to kill, steal, and destroy. And an easy way for him to get in is through our thoughts. So those aren't always fact.
Well, and you bring up a very strong point here, because I always tell people faith is not feeling. Okay?
Yes.
So you walk by faith, not by sight. You don't walk by emotion per se. And you're right, feelings aren't facts, because that becomes a mental mind game, especially for millions of people across the country who spend time by themselves. And if your only friend is your thoughts, remember, a lot of those thoughts are not going to be true. And you need to realize, just like Brianna said, we have an enemy out there that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And the open door is not the heart. The open door is the mind. Okay, yes. So keep that there. Put that in your pocket for safekeeping. And also, you have, and I want to kind of step back here, because you have 2 episodes where there is help and tips and tools. What are those about?
So there is help focuses on resources. So like my 501c3 Angel in the Sky is more of, we want to get the conversation started and then connect you to more established resources, whether that be counselors or AFSP, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, NAMI, Erica's Lighthouse, the Trevor Project, the Veterans Crisis Line, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. So bigger organizations that really specialize in the area that you might be struggling in. So that's kind of what the there is help is specifically those resources. And then the tips and tools are some things that you can do to help your mindset. So for me, it's healthy coping mechanisms, positive affirmations, um, yoga, uh, praying, being in the Word, things like that, singing, music. Um, so that's kind of where what the tips and tools focus on.
Well, I like that because you bring up positive coping mechanisms. You had struggled with suicidal thoughts yourself, and experienced loss by suicide in your family. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brianna knows exactly what she's talking about. And again, this is a very powerful program, the Warrior in Me Suicide Prevention Program. Now, Brianna, who do you hope to reach with this series?
Well, as you said in the introduction, Dr. Bond, suicide doesn't discriminate. So this program is geared for middle schoolers all the way up to senior citizens. Um, it's for anyone and everyone. Um, yeah.
Now, where are you going to be taking this program? Where are you going to take it to?
Well, we're hoping to get it. We are currently booking our fall 2022 schedule, and we're hoping to get it into some middle schools, high schools, church youth groups, and other venues like that. So,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a teacher, if you are a pastor or a minister, maybe you are a prison official, maybe you're a police officer, maybe you're in the military, I want you to contact Brianna about the Warrior in Me Suicide Prevention Program. Invite her to your establishment, bring a group of people in, and you will be taking steps to save lives. And Brianna, I mean, again, this is a very powerful program, and I want all of you out there to watch this. And again, I watched a couple of the videos, and they helped me to learn and understand more about suicide and the signs to look for as we can be more involved in helping others. Brianna, where can all of my viewers and listeners go to not only learn more about the program, to possibly invite you to come to them to talk about it, as well as to donate to you to your organization?
sure. So you can learn more about me and the Warrior in Me on briannadominica.com. And if you want to donate to Angel in the Sky, you can go to angelinthesky.org.
All right, now because you are a singer-songwriter, I don't want to leave here without knowing that you have just recently released a brand new single, Defender. What is it about?
Defender is basically just about no matter the circumstances or the battles we're facing, God is our defender. He sent his son to die on the cross for us, and you know, um, it's yeah.
He is our Savior. He is our
Yeah.
healer, our Redeemer and Deliverer. And Brianna, I've listened to the song over and over again. And are we going to see a full-length album pretty soon, or do you already have one out now?
Not a full length album, but I will be releasing on September 9th. This is the official announcement. So, September 9th, I'll be releasing a new single called That Was You, written by Brandon Chase and Steve Peters. And it's the first song that I actually didn't co-write, but I just fell in love with the song the first time I heard it. And I was like, I need to record this song. So I just got the mix back Monday, and I am so excited for everyone to hear it. I can't wait. So,
Well, you are absolutely fantastic.
September 9th.
You are wonderful. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to head over to angelinthesky.org. I want you to connect with the Warrior in Me Suicide Prevention Program video series. Tap in, watch it, share it. And for all of you out there that have the opportunity to invite Brianna Dominica to your area, please do so. She knows what suicide is. She's experienced it in her family herself. Because one thing about my show, ladies and gentlemen, is I don't invite people here who have never experienced what they talk about. Brianna has more than once. So she has firsthand knowledge about suicide. She knows what suicidal thoughts are. She's experienced those. But she has gone through the test. She has the testimony, and she's created this amazing, very powerful, The Warrior in Me Suicide Prevention Program video series just for all of us to, well, act or shine and to help every single person around us that may need a helping hand to lift them up so that they know what true hope and what true healing in life is. This is available to everyone. So again, ladies and gentlemen, head over to angelinthesky.org, get plugged in, and not only that, look up Brianna Dominica for all of her amazing music and get that new single, Defender. You're going to love it. It's full praise unto the Lord, and that's what we love to do. And we serve a God who loves to be praised. He loves to be glorified and worshiped. And Defender is the type of song that will allow you to do all of those things and just bring a sweet presence to you and to the Lord himself. Brianna, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Oh, you are always welcome back on the show. All you have to do is ask. So we are good, and can't wait for that brand new single that's also coming out. And ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We have more to bless you with right after this.